Hi everyone, Teddy Baldassarre with TeddyBaldassarre.com. In this video, we're looking at a brand new field watch from Formex, their first introduction to the field watch family, looking at their new field watch automatic in 41 millimeters in titanium. This is an interesting watch. You're gonna wanna take a closer look. So in this video and on this channel, we look at watches available for purchase on our website, TeddyBaldassarre.com, as a full authorized dealer. So in this video, deep dive on this timepiece, final points of consideration at the end, but also throughout this video, if you have further questions, check out the link in the description to the product page where you can learn more and purchase the watch as well. But guys, let's jump into the video and take a closer look at this watch. Disregarding the idea of heritage and concentrating purely on value for dollar, it's more difficult than ever to overlook Formex, a Swiss independent brand that is producing what are, for many, some of the best finished watches in their price category of around $1,000 to $2,000. Established first in 1999, but really getting a resurgence in the last 5 years, most enthusiasts are going to know them from models like the Essence and the Reef, and their impressive tech, COSC certified Swiss calibers, finishing, and novel modern designs that avoid the common pitfalls of looking like everything else out there on the market. In this video, we'll be taking a look at a completely new model from the brand and their first entry door into the world of the very busy category of field watches. But this one is doing a few things that are unique, coming in a titanium case, getting an upped hardness with that case as well that will be 3 times the hardness of traditional stainless steel, and being very lightweight with variety of different strap options and on-the-fly adjustment within a custom-made, carbon fiber-made extension clasp. All while this watch being Swiss-made and having starting prices around $795 in an impressive array of 6 colors including charcoal, petrol blue, ash gray, mahogany red, ultraviolet, and sage green. In this video, we'll focus mostly on the sage green model, but we'll also take a look at a few different variants as well. But let's jump in and take a closer look at this watch. So starting with a conversation on the wearing experience presented by the new Formex Field. We have a mass appealing dimension set headlined by a 41 millimeter case diameter paired with a nice lug-to-lug distance of 47.9 millimeters. Despite having a relatively large dial to bezel ratio, this piece wears, I would say, smaller than what the case size is going to indicate, wearing closer to that of a 39.5 to a 40 millimeter case. Big thanks to the lug-to-lug dimension. Most 41 millimeter watches are going to be farther on the north to south measurement compared to 47.9 millimeters. Also on the wrist, it's going to be slender, 10.4 millimeters with thickness when measuring with our calipers, with that metric further being broken up by the neatly faceted case architecture. Still, the factor most prominently influencing the wear here has to be the grade 2 titanium case that makes this watch incredibly light on the wrist. And more than simply leaning into titanium, the Field Auto case also has been treated with a hardening process that increases the surface hardness from 145 HV on the Vickers hardness scale to approximately 900 HV on that hardness scale, which is nice to see as titanium is a material notorious for picking up scratches during daily wear. This is grade 2, but you're getting some great resistance to scratches here on that level of hardness. As another point of reference, stainless steel around 350 on the Vickers hardness scale, and then dealing with something like tegimented cases from the likes of Zinn, you're looking at 1200 HV. So this is in a very nice lane and getting a nice point of separation from the other field watch models that might be more positioned around $500. As an apparent side effect of this treatment though, this case also presents an almost frosted appearance that appears brighter and whiter compared to the majority of titanium cases out there. Case architecture is, as is often with the case with Formex, especially well executed for the price, with prominent facets near the lugs, a step sloping bezel, and a neat slender bevel along the edges of the lugs that also angle sharply down towards the wrist. Where many field watches end up looking overly utilitarian or subdued by utilizing the same finishing technique across all of what is often a straightforward case shape, the Field Automatic has enough intriguing case elements to stand out and add some visual interest despite leaning into a fully blasted finish. At 3, a screw-down sign crown, also executed in grade 2 titanium, is anchored without the safety of crown guards, collaborating with a flat screw-down case back and securing this model's capable 150 meters of water resistance, so very nice to see there. This metric for me is one of the highlights of the piece, as it provides as much peace of mind as you can ask for any watch of this style under $1,000. Set between the versatile 20 millimeter lugs, the Field Auto is supplied with 2 strap options that you can choose from. Starting with a unique nylon Velcro strap starting around $800, the strap is incredibly light, adding a mere 5 grams to the case weight of 65 grams, and also has some integrated stretch. Overall, this option is fairly polished in terms of its look and does have a more playful type of undertone in what it's going for if you do want the more conventional NATO strap combination and look with the design while getting some more up finish and an easier ability to size perfectly with the Velcro nature. For a more refined look priced at $945, the other strap option is a well-executed leather strap that is color coordinated to each dial variant and more importantly comes with Formex's extremely well done deployant clasp that features a visible titanium buckle with interior components executed in carbon fiber. We've seen this on previous examples and models from Formex, but if you're not familiar, very lightweight, and it also offers a feature amounting to 7 millimeters of additional travel while also working with standard watch straps and allowing that on-the-fly adjustment even if you have it on your wrist. As we've mentioned in previous reviews, Formex has a substantial background in producing OEM bracelets and cases for some of the industry's most storied brands, so while it's no surprise to see this level of execution here, the value proposition is still very well done. Again, taking a view of the watch's anterior surface, we have a flat sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating on the underside, keeping watch over one of the more eccentric field watch dials you're going to come across. The basic field watch design format often seen from brands like Hamilton is well established, having been in large part based on watches provided to the Allied forces during World War II. But what Formex has done here is to take the most central DNA from the concept and integrate it into a more modern, multi-dimensional execution. So it's not so much leaning on that type of approach. In whichever of these 6 colors you choose, the Field Auto has a matte primary surface with a printed off white railway track at its perimeter, with circular and rectangular cutaways at the 5-minute positions to reveal the superluminova underneath. Following the sandwich style, the hour indices are also cut out and executed in a futuristic stylized take on stencil military numerals. Moving inwards from the indices, the dial itself gently slopes towards its center, where brushed syringe style hands evoke field watches of past decades while also being filled with faux aged lume. And while this tinted superluminova typically doesn't work well in practice and has a good reputation for incandescence, in this case, you're really not seeing much of a sacrifice here in terms of glowing bright, as these will glow in bright green even after a brief exposure to a light source and lasting for hours. Dial text is minimal with Formex's updated logo and word mark at noon, and only field in the depth rating at 6, located just above the deeply faceted date aperture with a date window color coordinated to the dial. In totality, this is a highly legible and capable dial design that will likely be somewhat polarizing for field watch purists, but offers an intriguing modern alternative to the established norms being rehashed by brands again and again. Turning this watch over, we have an almost perfectly flat closed case back featuring a textured engraving at the center that helps the watch stay in place on the wrist while also providing protection for the standard third-party caliber within. Where more expensive models from Formex tend to offer COSC certified movements from Sellita, this new more attainable model is equipped with a standard grade Sellita SW200. While the SW200 is nothing sexy, being essentially a clone of the ETA 2824, it makes perfect sense for an affordable Swiss watch like this one, as the SW200 has earned a reputation for being a durable, reliable, and easy to service and regulate movement. And Sellita as a manufacturer has certainly solidified itself as being the #2 in Swiss watchmaking from a third-party perspective. So just to give a sense of accuracy though, this isn't a cost certified watch, but we did want to go through and test 3 of the models to give you an idea of how they were going about just running in terms of accuracy. We tested all these watches in 5 positions and just wanted to give a range of deviation that they were running at. So +2 to +5 seconds a day for the black dial across those 5 positions, +1 to +2 for the green dial across those 5 positions, and +3 to +5 seconds a day for the blue dial. So even without the COSC certification, I think still well done, and kind of makes sense why they are well done, given that if you have the expectations of sending watches in to be COSC certified, you're most likely regulating your movements in-house to ensure that they're going to pass that testing standard. In terms of operation here, we're looking at 28,800 vibrations per hour, 4 Hertz. Do feature hacking and hand winding, hacking stopping the second hand when you pull the crown to the farthest position, and a power reserve of 38 hours. All right, so now to unpack looking at the Formex Field Automatic. So these were watches that were teased out a while back to myself and our team, and we just heard Formex is going to make a field watch. And I have to admit, I was a little concerned at how they were going to stick the landing here, given the amount of activity under $1,000 from the likes of brands like a Hamilton. How were they going to differentiate? But after seeing these watches and handling them, they were able to carve out a different approach while still remaining true to what they do best. When looking at the faceted case and the hardened titanium case at that, going with a titanium case material I think was a fantastic move to differentiate from the competition and getting that case hardness. It's a great way to separate. Also getting the water resistance of 150 meters, the loom not sacrificing despite getting that faux look with those markers, while still packaging that great case finish and finishing across the board that Formex is so well known for. But all this said, is it still worth looking at these compared to something like a Hamilton and other brands out there? Well, I think it all really depends. The good news is that Formex was able to find a lane for themselves to differentiate and be different. Are these well-finished watches for under $1,000, and do they feel like Formex watches? And by that, I mean, are they well-finished? Are they packaged well? Absolutely. And I think they found a nice lane to go within. And if you're trying to get into something that's lightweight, you want a field watch that is going to be built to a spec that you could be very happy with, 150 meters of water resistance, up scratch resistance of the case, sapphire crystal, solid loom, and a well-regulated movement, there's a lot here to like. Some people might not like the approach to the design maybe the same way. They might also be against the case sizing. Although this wearing closer to a 40 millimeter, they might like their field watches closer to that of a 38 millimeter or 39, which I would say this one wears a little bit closer to that of a 39.5 to a 40. I think Formex was able to stick the landing despite my concerns about how they were going to differentiate from the competition of a very, very populated and saturated field watch category under $1,000. So another job well done for Formex, building off the momentum that they've developed from redesigning and rethinking the essence and the logo design as well as the reef in the last couple of years. And this is a very welcome new addition to their growing model family. All right, guys, well, thank you again so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. That does help out the channel. But also, if you're in the market for this watch, check it out on TeddyBaldassarre.com. TeddyBaldassarre.com is a full authorized dealer for 30 brands, quick and fast fulfillment, dedicated customer support, full factory warranty for all the products that we offer as well, unlike a lot of places online where you go to look to purchase. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I'll see you all very soon.